Pepper Potts and talks to Pepper Potts, tries to tell her that what he's been trying to tell her, and Agent Volnak comes in the room and um, after Pepper Potts leaves the room, says, "You're amazing. Is anything about you real? Do you speak Latin?" And she says something, and it says, "I'm sorry. What does that translate?" And she says, "Get out, or I'll throw you out." And Tony steals this piece of history that's a little model he takes to his lab and does holographic image of, and he watches he also watches a film from his father, films from his father messing up, and it's pretty funny. And then he sends shoots another video saying a message to Tony saying that this technology is too advanced for my time, and my greatest creation was you. And it's a really touching moment, actually. Yeah, it's a really touching moment. Actually, it's very really the most touching moment in the Iron Man franchise, and of the best Iron Man movies, because the other two Iron Man films suck. And anyway, so he solves the solution to his heart, and he makes a remodels his house and his lab so it can actually use the technology to make his heart. And he tells Phil Coulson, "Good news, I solved the problem I heard." And Phil says he's going to Mexico, special stuff, which when he goes to Mexico, it has Thor's hammer. That's after the credits. Isn't that's a slap in the face? To really, really bad mafia movie. Ugh. And anyway, so Tony gets a call from Ivan. Ivan is the guy with the whip's name. His name's Ivan. So Ivan gets betrayed by just the hammer, and these two guys are supposed to keep an eye on him, make sure he does, and supposed to give him the beat of his life if it does anything funny, and he laughs because he's way bigger than those two guys. And he kills them by strangling them. And he talks to Tony on the phone, and she says he's going to have his revenge, going to do what you did to my family, what going to do you in 6 minutes. Oh, and Tony says, "Oh, that sounds great. Hey, can we talk here? Oh, tell me where you are." And he says, and he just hangs on the phone, and he's also found out finds out that from Ivan, I think that he was working with Justin Hammer, and so he tells Jarvis to get a suit and Jarvis is time and also it's time to test out the new arc reactor, and he puts it and it says and Jarvis tells him it's not time for testing and it's too risky and says, Jarvis, I don't want to hear it, and puts it and it works, and he's surprised how much he definitely feels a lot better after putting it in, the new one in. And the new one actually is more of a triangle shape. That's more so it has more of a triangle shape. Well, the old one had like a circle shape. And then so he suits up and goes and breaks the party of where War Machine's at. Yeah, Rhodey upgraded the suit with Hammer Tech, which now is and put a bunch of weapons on it, and goes by War Machine now, and lean these drones and tries and tells War Machine gives him the news that Hammer's working with and he's like surprised that he's alive. Which they never said that he was dead in the movie, so anyway, Ivan hacks into the drones and War Machine's suit and aims at Tony, and he says, "Tony, this is not me that's doing it," and he says, and he tells Tony to run. I can't stop it, so Tony runs from the Hammer drones and War Machine and flies in the first. It's a flight chase scene, and and so Roloff goes with Pepper to try to get something out of Justin Hammer, and Justin says, "Look, Lee, I don't know what to talk about, so let's get out of here." And Wilmot just actually goes straight on Batman on his ass and says, "Who are you working for? Who's behind us?" And he says, "Ivan," and she decided to grab his arm behind him and put his face down on the desk and decided to reach. She was awesome. I really like getting restrained by Justin Johansson. Anyway, so Iron Man takes out some of the drone, and Black Widow Happy goes with Black Widow, and he drives, and she changes into a costume in the back of while he's driving, and Happy keeps on looking and says, and she says to him, "Put your eyes on the road." He's also the director of this movie. Yeah. So, anyway, they get there and to a place we're going, and Black Widow takes out all these guys. She stuns them. She flips them and flips over, and she slaps their neck with her legs and punches them and throws tasers at them and strangles them with one with a rope. And Happy meanwhile Happy was punching one guy and finally got him, and she sees how much Black Widow did. Well, it took Happy to take down one. So anyway, she's in the control room and hacks into Rhodey's suit and says to Tony, "You got your best friend back." So Rhodey's now in the control of the suit, and and I think Black will congratulate him of solving the opponent's hot, and it says, and Pepper finds out that, wait, you were dying? And then she's like, and they, I was going to talk to you over a vacation. Then she was like, don't give me that bullcrap, you were dying. And Black Widow says, "Listen, we can save this. You can save this for later. Right now, there's a bad guys to kill and kick ass and stuff." And so now it's War Machine and Tony against all the Hammerbots and the just shoot at them. Roy shoots at him with machine guns, and Tony does this cool move and lasers fuel every one of them, and he says, "Why didn't you do that before? I can only do it one time." Tony says, "So, why didn't you and want to do blast and stuff and everything?" He says, "Why didn't you do that earlier?" I think Rhodey said that. And anyway, so now a big bad guy comes in, and the big bad guy comes in, the real Ivan comes in and he has to suit himself with webs and stuff. And he, so anyway, it, it's a cool fight scene, but final boss scene and seeing them Rhodey and Iron Man working together all and all that. And it's really enjoyable to watch, but it goes but it's a little short. And Ivan has sent try to set a drone to blow off to kill Pumpkin Boss, and Tony saves her, and he the entire city is like a little gone a little explosive, he takes off the Iron Man helmet and he says, and she says, "I can knock you for doing this." And says, "I thought you did what, CEO? No, I cannot keep on doing this. Like worrying about you every time you you decide to put half the city at risk." And he says, "Hey, I think I did okay." Considering everything. And the Iron back and forth, and then the guessing dot and says that wasn't weird, right? And Rhodey interrupts, "I thought it was weird. You guys are like two seals arguing over a grape." And I'm going to have to borrow this suit, Tony, because my car got blown up. And it says that's not an option. And he says it wasn't a question. So he flies off, and Nick Fury has a little talk with Tony and Iron Man's initiative, but Tony Stark is not. Iron Man is recruited for Avengers, is signed on for the Avengers, but Tony Stark is not signed on for the Avengers. And he says, "How can you do that but not do?" He says, "We want your tech." And he says, "You can't afford me." And so they basically get nothing from Tony. Not his suit, not his tech, not his anything. And says, "How if I and he says, "How if I will giving a nice gesture? I will make one request." And Nick says, "Name it." Me and Rhodey again a nominee for heroism, and we need someone to do the give us to handle the awards. And he says, "I'll see what I can do. I will do that." And it was the same guy that was doing the same court guy that was on court saying F you Stark and suing Stark, who was the same guy that betrayed Shield and ended up being a Hydra and said "Hail Hydra" by whispering to one of the guys, and who also ended up being who also like had a sniper on him on his tie. Um, um, and they end up interrogating another guy in Captain Winter Soldier, a different guy, not the one that not the one they had the sniper on. And anyway, so he says to Tony, "It's amazing how much a little prick can be." And he purposely pokes Tony with the needle, and Tony's like, "Ow!" So it's amazing how painful a prick can be, and it ends like that. And Tony giving the peace, waving and giving the peace sign, and hugging his buddy Rhodey.